My 18-year-old daughter started dating a 50-year-old man and moved out when I tried to stop her, but 2 months later, she came to me crying. One day my daughter came to my wife and I and said she had something to tell us, but all our expectations were shattered when she told us she had a boyfriend, and this boyfriend lived in a mansion since he was over 50 years old. I was so shocked that I had to go to the bathroom and wash my face with cold water. By the time I came back, my wife was already yelling at her for not having more self-respect. After I sat down, I told our daughter that whatever the man said to her was a lie and that he was only manipulating her for her body. To my surprise, she lashed out at me and called us unsupportive parents. She said she was in love and that we needed to accept that. I refused and tried to show her reason, but nothing worked. I even brought up the point about how this man was literally older than me, her own dad. When she kept shaking her head and wouldn't agree to break off the relationship, I said something I sincerely regretted. You can't date a man that old while living under my roof. What I meant was that I wanted her to never see that man again, but instead, she took that as me kicking her out. She immediately started packing and wouldn't stop even if I begged her to. She said she was 18 and could make her own decisions, and that if we tried to stop her physically, she would call the cops. My wife had to hold me in her arms because I was on the verge of having a panic attack. Once our daughter left, I started wondering where it had all gone wrong. How on earth did I forget to teach my daughter that men like that will only use her and never love her? I tried texting, but I was blocked. I reached out to her friends because she never told me where she was going, and they told me she had moved in with the guy. I was furious and went to file a police report to get her back, but they told me that since both parties were consenting adults and that nothing fishy seemed to be going on, they couldn't do anything. One policeman in particular told me he understood my pain, but I needed to be patient and not give up on my daughter. So that's exactly what I did. I started researching online about what to do and patiently waited for my daughter to unblock me, hoping that she wouldn't just move on from her own parents. My wife was having daily breakdowns and would cry for hours since she thought we had lost our daughter forever. Thankfully, 2 months after she left, I got a knock on the door. It was our daughter, and she was holding her bags while silently weeping. I ran to hug her and invited her in without asking a single question. I even saw a small bruise on her shoulder, but my research had taught me to not rush into things. My daughter apologized for leaving and hugged both of us. She asked if she could sit on the couch, and I said of course. Then she slowly started explaining. The man allowed her to live with him, and at first, everything seemed to be going great. But a week later, she discovered that he was sleeping with another girl who was 19 years older. She got pretty mad about the cheating, but the man begged her to stay, so she forgave him. From that day onwards, things got intense. He would make her clean the entire house spotless and make him a luxurious dinner every night no matter how tired she was. Sometimes he would drag her to the bedroom, and under the guise of making things exciting, he'd tie her hands together before using a small whip on her body. She told me that it always hurt, but she thought she had to go through that pain to find true love. Eventually, the man got fed up with her and said to her face that he never loved her and only liked sleeping with her, but now that her body was full of bruises that he inflicted, he was no longer interested. Those words were like a wake-up call to her. She realized that me and her mother only wanted the best for her, so she decided to come back. She was feeling a lot of regret about her decision in blocking us, so I basically told her to calm down and think about the things he did to her. I explained that due to their age gap, he was basically using her emotional immaturity to force her into accepting literal abuse. Then I said, if she was willing, we could go to the police and bring him to justice. I made it clear that I would respect her choice. We made her talk to a therapist first, and once she was ready, we went to the authorities with all the proof. I was there when they arrested that man and was able to land a small punch right on his nose. Anyway, I'm just happy that my daughter is safe, and I'll make sure to do better with raising her.